Hi guys, so finally got to the point where I want to introduce you to a new field software called LandStar from CHC Navigation. And I want to go through a whole bunch of functionality in the upcoming weeks. So first of all, let's take a look at it. I have the LT800 tablet here, and you're gonna see on the tablet the LandStar comes pre-installed, so we're gonna click and run it. Currently, while I'm doing this video, the latest version is, I believe, 8.3. When you log in the first time, it's gonna ask you whichever style of layout you like, the classic or the simple style. I like the classic, but you can check that so it doesn't pop up every single time. Gonna go and hit accept. And this is the basic layout. At the bottom, you have 4 major categories. This is becoming pretty standard: project, survey, config, and tools. What I want to take a look at today is the dude, as I call it, the top left corner. There is this, and you can obviously you see there is no project open. There are some software settings where you want to go in, and here you want to just kind of take a quick look at some settings. One nice one is the cloud service. At this point, 8.3 version also includes Google Drive, so direct syncing to your Google Drive. And yeah, as we scroll all the way down, we're gonna look at the software about, and you see 8.31, and as you can look at the license, where you can see whether you are a permanent or 30-day or whatnot, right? You can always click on the free trials and you get a 30-day code for free. And also here, I want to touch base on this guy here. So release the activation code. So let's say you want to migrate the license of the LandStar software to a different device. This is what would enable you to do that. So let's go and start the new project. I'm gonna hit new, and I'm gonna go to project, and I'm gonna call it a test project. For this, we do have option of putting in an operator, and we do have an option of referencing projects. So if you have a project, existing project with the current coordinate system, you can reference that. And also you can choose what to bring in. So whether to bring in coordinate file system, code library, control points, stakeout point, project settings, and everything. Because we don't have one, we're gonna go to the coordinate system, and you have multiple options. You can go from library, and obviously you're gonna choose the region. So I'm in Canada, I am in Alberta, and here are my Alberta projections, predefined ones. To get those things right, we need to go again to the dude, and down here we have the localization packages, right? So you have to be online for that, but once you download them once, then you don't have to be online for the rest of it. So at this point, it's loading available localization packages. As you can see, it's pretty much whole world. And you can see, my Canada one is already checked because it's already downloaded. That's why when I went to Canada, Alberta, I was able to pick those things, right? So let's go back to that project, and I'm gonna have to start from scratch, right? Actually, I'm gonna, okay, so I already have the Alberta UTM. You can do your geoid file, right? Obviously, again, because I loaded a Canadian package, I do have an option of the HD2 or GSD95s, right? So HD2 version 20. If I had a code library, I can download the code library. If you can always create one for yourself, right, with the codes, preset codes, or you can build it as you go. And project settings are default, so we're gonna hit accept. Now, when we go back to the dude, once we have the project, there are few settings we can, which we did not see. So when we go to the dude and we go, let's say, to software settings, as you can see, there is project settings at the bottom, for example, units. So whether you want to select your angle units, your horizontal, vertical distance, right? So especially here in the North America, people work with international feet, and you can obviously choose decimal feet, decimal inches, or fractional inches. And once you choose a fractional inches, you have your tolerance, right? So I am still a metric guy, so I'm just gonna keep on using meters. How many decimal? You can adjust all that. Coordinate order, again, here in Canada we use northeast. Most of the Europe use east-north, right? Point naming, how do you wanna that be, right? So you want a prefix and point name, or you wanna point name suffix and all that stuff, right? What else we want to do? Map display. So how do you want to display tab? We're gonna do that per task basis, so I'm just gonna leave all that. You can save it, and now you can save it as a default, so next time you choose your default settings, this is gonna be there, or you can just save it to your project file. I'm gonna do set default because I like that. So as you can see, we have successfully set up a project, right? And the next step would be basically go connect to the instrument and start doing some surveys or creating some designs and so on and so on. So stay tuned. In the next video, we'll go in depth into some functionality. See you next time.